When you're working with lists in SharePoint, there are many more advanced features that will allow you to integrate with Microsoft Office applications if you're in Datasheet View. We talked about Datasheet View in a previous lesson. We're going to take a look at it again now as we work with a list and show you some of the integration options you have with Microsoft Office. Now, we won't go into each one of these options, but if you're feeling adventurous, feel free to do so. The first thing I need to do is choose a list. I'm going to go over here to my Quick Launch area and click on my complaints list. And maybe I'd like to work with this in Microsoft Access or Microsoft Excel to manipulate the data and maybe even show it in a graphical format. Well, before I can get into those options, I need to go up to my Actions drop down here and switch to the Datasheet view. So I'm going to click on Edit in Datasheet, and you can see it looks a lot like a Microsoft Access table or an Excel spreadsheet. But now when I go up to Actions, things are going to look a lot different. So I've got refresh data, I've got totals, I can add new rows. That's the standard view we were just in that I can switch back to. But when I click on the task pane over here, that's when I'm going to see those additional features. The task pane now shows up over here on the right-hand side, and you can see that there's a separator here separating the Access features from the Excel features. So the first one up here is to track this list in Access, which is kind of neat because it creates a new Access linked table in either a new or an existing Access database. Now, the linked table is going to be synchronized with the SharePoint list. That means any changes made in Access will be updated in the SharePoint list and vice versa. Down below that, we've got Export to Access, which allows me to export the existing list information into a new Access table. And when I do this, the list and the Access database are not linked in this case. Down below that, we've got Report with Access. So this creates a new Access linked table in either a new or an existing Access database and then generates that Access report that's based on the information in the linked table. Then we got our separator and we're into the Excel options now, like Query List with Excel. Now this will export the information in the same way that it does when we export to a spreadsheet link on the Actions menu. The lists are linked, allowing you to synchronize data between Excel and SharePoint, just like we were talking about up here with Track This List in Access. We can print with Excel as well, so this will export the list information into Excel and display the print dialog box for us right away. Down below that, Chart with Excel, again, exports the list information into Excel and will quickly display the Chart Wizard dialog box so you can create graphs and charts based on the list items. And then down at the bottom, we've got Create Excel Pivot Table. If you've ever worked with pivot tables in Excel, you know you can really manipulate your data to display it the way you need. This will export the list information to Excel and display that pivot table field list dialog box and toolbar. So those are some additional options available to you when you change to this Datasheet view. To go back where we were, we go up to the Actions drop down and choose Show in Standard View, and we'll be back to our SharePoint list.